Falcone and Larry Steinhaus on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Good morning and welcome to Investor Schooling Live, coming to you from Investor Schooling headquarters. I'm Phil Falcone, here with my business partner, Larry Steinhaus. We are the founders of Investor Schooling. Get ready to learn real estate investing and stock option trading. Call us anytime during the show with your questions at 855-939-1137. That's 855-939-1137. That's right, we're a live program. So you can call us anytime during the show and we will take your calls. Don't even worry about what we're talking about. Just call us with your questions. We love to take your calls. Investor Schooling is located in Langhorne, Pennsylvania, serving the Philadelphia area in a real brick and mortar building. We are local guys, accessible to our students a minimum of 2 nights per week. Learn this business, the business of real estate investing and stock option trading, from people who live it every day. That's us. Okay, so on today's show, we're going to be talking about several different things. Real estate investing, stock option trading, why 12:10 a.m. keeps bumping us to different times. Okay? We're going to be talking about manufactured homes. Why? Because I own a couple mobile home parks, and I'm interested in that topic. That's why. Okay? How often can you buy houses with no money? Is the stock market due for a correction? Can you get a HELOC on commercial real estate? Is real estate ever going to cool down? And then we're going to end the show with the stock option sultan, who's going to give you picks for next week. If you trade options or if you buy stocks, this is something that you can immediately cash in on with the stock option sultan's picks. We've even got a question mailed into us. Should I get my real estate license? So, Larry, what's happening?
Wait, you just said so much, Phil. You know, I don't even know where to go with this right now.
You want me to slow down?
Yeah, you need to slow down.
All right.
You did the whole thing. You did that whole introduction in a minute and a half, and usually it takes you 5.
You know, you're trying to be funny, but I think you better drink some more coffee.
All right, hold on. Glurp, glurp, glurp. Yeah, okay. All right. So, hey, Bill, thanks for watching. I see you on Facebook and everybody else online on Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter, and I think that's it. On YouTube, you can leave comments if you'd like during the show, and we'd love your comments. And you can also call us up at 855-939-1137, 855-939-1137. So it's 2 weeks to the end of the year, Phil.
It doesn't necessarily matter to me.
No? You don't set goals or anything for every year?
Goals?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, so I used to do that. I don't do that anymore either. I just keep going.
I just kind of evaluate each day and I say, what is the highest and best use for me today? What is the most important thing I should be thinking about? What's the most important thing I should be working on today? And it's almost always the same mathematical equation. Whatever brings me the largest check in the shortest period of time.
Is that true?
It's what I'm trying to do.
You were such a healthy guy. I thought that the most important thing that you actually thought about was your health every day.
Well, I already dedicate several hours to my health every day, so I'm pretty sure I got that sector covered.
I wake up every morning on the opposite side of you. Not at the opposite side of you, because that sounded really weird.
Wait, what?
Yeah, exactly.
Yo,
That's
man.
not what I meant.
On the
let
opposite
me
side
reiterate.
of the bed.
Boy, this is going really
Let me
bad,
reiterate,
really fast.
he's my business partner.
No,
What are you
what I
talking
meant
about?
by that is, I mean, my health is just not anywhere near as good as you. And every day I wake up going, will I eat less than 2,000 calories today?
Your health is not anywhere near as good as you. Your
As good as
English
yours.
isn't really that good either.
My English? Well, you know, sometimes what are you going to do? Sometimes you're thinking of something else, and instead of saying and ah, you say the wrong word.
How long have you been speaking
I
English?
speak every day. It's really difficult to speak all the time.
Oh, boy. I'm dealing with one guy who can't speak English and another guy who's got a sourpuss look on his face.
Yeah, what's up with Pedro this morning? He's got the sourpuss look. And also Jim Kelly. Jim Kelly's got the sourpuss.
Yeah, he's complaining about the equipment at 1210.
And wait a minute. And not only that, Jim Kelly's telling me I could see in the thing he says that my mic is low. So Pedro's not even doing a good job in the production room.
What else is new about that?
I mean, what's going on here? Can we just need some people who know what they're doing around here.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So let's get back to there's 2 weeks left in the year.
I mean, look, here's the thing. I don't really care about the holidays.
Yeah. Okay.
I really don't. Like Christmas, yeah. Am I Catholic? Yes. 12 years of schooling? Yes. Separated from the girls for 12 years of schooling? No. But 4 years of it was. In high school, I went to Archbishop Ryan. On the very first day of school, I was given a tour by this really funny guy. And a girl walked by and he said, "You see that? That's a girl." He said, "You won't see another one of those for 4 years." I thought he was kidding. He wasn't.
Wow, that explains a lot about
Yeah.
you.
How?
I'm afraid to elaborate, so that's why I paused before I finished that sentence and said maybe I shouldn't say anything.
Well, I wanted to go to Washington High School, but my father wouldn't allow me.
It would explain that email I got. Did I tell you about that email I got from I guess it's a
Yeah, you showed it to me last night.
Yeah. It was an email from a woman who wanted to come to our class, and she literally said, "I'm afraid to go to class because Phil hates women." And I was like, no. Phil doesn't hate women. I wrote, Phil loves women. And then I wrote, inside joke. However, Phil really likes women. Don't worry about it. And she said, okay, I'll come. So why would she say that, Phil?
I'll have to ask her when she comes here.
All right.
I don't even know who the lady is.
I don't know either. I'm not sure. I mean,
If I don't know her, then by definition, she doesn't know me.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is true. All right. 855-939-1137. 855-939-1137. If you'd like to find out if Phil hates women, go to investorschooling.com, and you can take a complimentary class this Thursday and learn more about real estate investing, stock option investing, and how Phil feels about women.
I mean, I like to flirt with some of the women at the school.
I know,
but that's
I've seen that.
That's just to keep your skills up.
Yeah?
Well, like suppose the wife throws me out, right? I want to be able.
If she hasn't thrown you out yet, she's not going to.
Okay, well, you never know what can happen in life, right? I just want my skill set to be sharp. You know what I mean?
You definitely found the right woman who can tolerate you. And I did too. I found someone who could tolerate me too, which is pretty cool.
It didn't look like you were tolerating her too well.
Hey, Phil, what about real estate? Can we talk about that?
Okay. So our here's something interesting. Our show is actually supposed to be on Saturday at 2 p.m. But we got bumped again.
Again.
And they never even give us a reason why. You think they would say, "Hey guys, we're bumping your show because our building caught on fire," or because there's a Penn State game and they're worth billions of dollars? Nope, they never give us a reason. They just tell us you're on at 10 a.m. this morning.
Right. So
Thanks.
all our loyal listeners at 2 o'clock don't even get to hear us.
How do you build up a radio show audience when you're on a different time every other week?
I don't know.
Okay.
It's tough.
So is the government planning to take away passports and possibly even driver's licenses?
I don't know about that. I mean, it's certainly possible. At this point, what this government's doing, it's possible they do anything. It's ridiculous now.
Well, I'm starting to hear scuttlebutt about it, and I'm also found some YouTube videos about it, which I have researched. And it's alarming.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if you want a communist government, that would be a step in the correct direction.
Yeah, it's absolutely getting ridiculous. I don't know what to do, but I'm just going to keep living my life until eventually someone stands up to these tyrants. And what are you going to do?
So tell me what you think of this deal. So I've been talking about manufactured homes a lot because I own a couple of mobile home parks. I'd like to maybe totally revamp all the homes, just get rid of all the homes in one of my parks and replace them with all brand new homes.
Right.
And there's a company out there called Boxable, which we've talked about before. So Boxable has this deal on their website. It says, put your name on the list for free, But do that with the understanding that you will be on the bottom of the list, right? Then it says, give us $1,000 and we'll put your name on a real list somewhere in the middle. And then it says, give us $5,000 down.
And you're the first.
You're not going to be the first, but we're going to put you in a position to get one of these homes in the near future, and they're going to discount the home $1,000.
So, wait. So obviously, the $5,000 goes to the purchase price. So this is not boxable though. This is something else.
It's boxable.
It is boxable.
Right? And the payments on these houses are $250 a month.
So what they're probably doing is they're probably looking to build up some money to build these houses, or to build a factory to build these houses, or for marketing, whatever it is.
They are not mass producing them yet. The exterior of the factory is developed, but they are not mass producing the houses yet. And they're definitely in money raising mode right now. So they're trying to get potential buyers to fund it. The issue with it is that to even, you could try to talk to the township now, but it's hard to explain. I guess you could show them videos of the boxable houses and say, would this be allowed? And, that supposedly you could do that at the township.
So you're really into this because you've been talking about it a lot. So my question to you is, did you put the $5,000 down?
Not yet, but I'm thinking about doing it.
What do you got to lose?
Put down $50,000, you got 10 houses locked up. Eventually they're going to be built. But when is eventually? Is it going to be 3 years from now?
It may never happen.
Yeah, it may never happen. The company
I
could go.
I wouldn't put 50 down for 10. I would put 1 down, just so this way you're on the list to get notified. And my guess is, after you put 1 down, they're going to send you more notifications saying, "Hey, would you like to do another one for 1,000? Another one for 1,000?" That would be my guess. Is what they would do is marketing.
Well, one of the reasons I was thinking about putting 50 down is because I want to lock in the financing. So right now they got this deal at $250 a month. Dude, I'm renting these places for $1,220 a month right now.
Oh, sure.
So $250 a month, I'm not paying it, right? All I got to do is put up the initial 50. If I put it up, I'm locked and loaded for 10 houses to ultimately be delivered at some point.
Well, 2 things. One is they're not ultimately to be delivered.
I understand
the company
that
could go bad.
The company could go out
right.
of business.
And I realize you have the $50,000. It wouldn't hurt you if you did lose it. But on the other side, are you sure that if you put that deposit down, you get locked in at $250 a month?
It says it right on their website.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
Okay.
I would just read the paperwork.
So
Sure.
keep in mind that I'm just reading this off their website, right? I assume that if I am going to send them $50,000, I'm going to get contracts. I'm going to get some guaranteed stuff. Or Maybe. There should be contracts.
It may be right on the website that everything is right there. You give them the $50,000. Here, read this. Read the terms and agreement. Click the button.
It might be. Maybe it comes once you start sending them the money. So
yeah.
I have to make some phone calls and find out. But
Sure. And
I'm thinking about doing it because at $250 a pop, if I'm renting every house at $1,220, who cares, right?
I agree. I also would tell you that if you're going to put $50,000, you said something interesting. You said, reach out to the company. You should reach out to the company. Say, listen, I'm very interested in your company. I would like to put $50,000 and save 10 of them, and I'll bet you that you will be talking to people in higher management just because of that.
Yeah, that's a good advice. I like that.
Yeah, money talks.
Yeah.
S doesn't talk.
Okay.
Or walks or whatever.
Is the stock market, or how often can you buy houses with no money?
How often can you buy houses with no money?
Yes, that's
so. Here's the ultimate answer. The ultimate answer is every minute. But the reality answer is, you have to go. You have to do a little bit of work to do it. But absolutely. So I actually put a post on Facebook the other day that I bought my first house with no money out of my pocket. I bought it 40 years ago with no money out of my pocket, and I always joke and I say that I sold that house for a 50% profit over the purchase price, because it's actually an infinite profit, because I took no money out of my pocket. But I sold it for a 50% profit over the purchase price a year later, and I always say that was the biggest mistake I ever made. But my first big mistake, I shouldn't say it's my biggest mistake. It's my first biggest mistake I ever made in real estate was selling that property for, and I made about $18,000. And you got to figure 40 years ago, $18,000 profit on a property is a lot in a year, especially with no money out of your pocket. Because the price of real estate, I bought that house for $26,500, and now that house probably goes for 200 to 210. So how many times can I do that? As often as I possibly can get out there, market, and find them. So the real trick, Phil, is finding them.
Are you doing any marketing now?
So my wife and I were talking about this week. I have to start marketing again. I've stopped marketing because I just got busy with everything else. I got a show, I got a book coming out, we got this show, we got the school. So I've been busy, and it's sad because I only bought 2 houses this year, and I probably should have bought more.
Let me ask you this. I know that you've got more experience in the marketing arena than I do. Would you say that if you were to start doing marketing again for houses, what program would you use at this point?
So I'm still going to use. We have the program that we use here, which is it's Mailbox Power. And actually, if you want to use Mailbox Power, you go to mailboxpower.com, and if you want to use the invitation code, I believe it's investors. I believe it's investors or investor. It just doesn't matter because it's going to ask you for an invitation code because you have to be invited to use it. But I use Mailbox Power. I think it's the simplest system I've ever seen to use. It really is. It's great. And we have an affiliate program. It doesn't even matter. You have an affiliate program on that thing, too. So if you get it and you tell your friends about it, you make a couple of bucks. I mean, I don't really care about that. I'm really interested in the fact that I can use the program to send mail. Where I used to use on the mailing programs, and they were choppy, they were difficult, they were hard to use. There was no way to look at it before you sent it out. This is the simplest one I've ever seen.
What about PropStream? I know you dove into it to explain it to the students, but I don't think anyone in the school is really using it on some serious level.
No, nobody's using PropStream to the maximum level. Now, PropStream also has mailing available. And by the way, if you guys are listening and you want to get a free 7-day trial of PropStream, go to PropStream 7daysfree.com, and you can get that for free for 7 days. But you can also do mailings on that as well. You could create lists there too, which is pretty nice. So you can create lists there.
And you can do skip tracing too, can't you?
Yeah, you can do skip tracing, exactly.
I mean, it's kind of like an all-in-one thing.
It is. It doesn't have everything for mailing like Mailbox Power does, but it does. I mean, you don't need Mailbox Power. You could just use what's in PropStream alone, but Mailbox Power would just accentuate it. That's all.
Okay.
So I would go to PropStream 7daysfree.com, and you can also do comps on PropStream too. I haven't spent a lot of time with it yet. I really need to. I need to spend a little more time with PropStream because, the thing is we have access to the MLS, and I can do comps on the MLS. I can do comps in 2 minutes. I could comp a property within $10,000 in 2 minutes on the MLS, where PropStream has different buttons to push. I don't know where they are yet, so it takes me a little bit longer on PropStream. I really need to start going only on PropStream just so I can, I can have a better understanding of how to use it.
I've been thinking about the same thing. Like, I just want to have it all in one place. And I need to just hunker down and learn the program.
Yeah, me too.
And determine for myself if this is perfect for me, and I hope it is. So that, especially because I love the national capability, right? The ability to go into, say, states like Florida, which I'm very interested in, and find things there. Find houses, find mobile home parks, find investment properties, whatever it is I'm looking for at the moment, which changes from time to time.
So I have a really good idea. Why don't we take a Monday Night Mastermind? I know we're having this conversation on the air, but why don't we take a Monday Night Mastermind and devote an hour of it to just all of us learning PropStream at the same time?
That's an awesome idea.
Yeah, okay.
In fact, I'd say you could, why not use half the Monday night?
Yeah, why don't we do it this Monday? So if you guys are listening online, if you're a student of investor schooling, you now know that we're going to be talking about PropStream on Monday, which will be a great thing. And so PropStream 7 days free. And matter of fact, you really should sign up for it because you need the 7 days free in order to be online with us. But you could always just cancel it. It doesn't cost you anything. So PropStream 7 days free. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, or you could just attend the class and watch the demonstration and figure out for yourself if you think you like it, then you can always get it afterwards.
Exactly. All right, cool. And Rob is saying that PropStream has tutorials that they're offering right now. That's fine. And we do have the basics, and we've also had one of the trainers do a training for us as well. But we really need to sit there and start playing with it.
Yeah, you got to make yourself familiar with it and know how to use it.
And Bill's a student. He says, great idea. So, yeah, we'll do that on Monday. Awesome. That's great.
Okay, let's talk about the stock market.
The stock market.
Where do you think it's going in general terms?
It's definitely going to go down. There's no doubt about it. I mean, it's kind of obvious. It can't go any higher for a little while. I mean, or you could actually say it's going to go up because it's going to go up in time, but that's going to be a long time. So it's going to go down in the nearer future, not the near future, but the nearer future. And what I mean by the nearer future is 2022. But there's always going to be stocks that are going to be great. In fact, the way we teach stock options, the greatest thing that can happen for us is it's flat. So we teach it very well when it has a clear range, like when I said that the stock market was going to go down to 34,500 and bounce back. I saw that clear range, and it did. When it hit 35,200, it dropped and it bounced back, and now it's sitting there right around. I think it's right at 36,000 right now, and right at 35. I have to look it up, but it's right at, I think it's 35.5. I got to look it up. But anyway, the idea is it's in a clear range. So because it's in a clear range, it's easier for us to predict what's going to happen next. When stocks hit 52-week highs or 52 weeks lows, they become difficult to predict. Yeah, 35.3 right now is where the stock market is, and that was a 500-point drop on Friday. That was rough yesterday.
I saw it.
So the interesting part was I was up about 20 grand yesterday.
How?
I was in all the travel stocks, which I've been saying over and over and over again. The travel stocks are the place to be right now. Because even though, Gestapo,
they went up a little bit at the end of the day, right?
No, the travel stocks?
Yeah.
They were up all day. They were up from about 10:30 on. They kept going up.
Maybe I wasn't watching it all day. I mean, I don't have that much money in there right now, so.
Eventually Gestapo Joe is going to pull away his mask mandate, and we'll be able to, once again, live life slightly normal. But you're right. I think other things are going to happen. We're going to be forced to have vaccines. You got your vaccine, right? Well, you know what happened? We had dead air at that moment, but he did answer the question.
I actually got an email from somebody saying that they were very disappointed in me.
Really?
Yeah, because I said a negative comment about vaccines.
Really? How could anybody be disappointed? Hey, listen, if you're online and you're listening to this show on WPHT and you want to call in and ask Phil about the vaccine, 855-939-1137. 855-939-1137.
Why don't we go to a commercial?
Well, let's go to commercial so we could get people to call.
And I'd also like to hear if Jim Kelly ever fixed it.
Good, Jim, take us out.
Hi, I'm Phil Falcone from InvestorSchooling.com.
All right. Welcome back to Investor Schooling Live. I am Larry Steinhaus, and I'm here with Phil Falcone, and we are discussing everything that has to do with money and the vaccine somehow. But I did want to say hello to some people online. I want to say hello to Bill and Carrie and Veton and Rob. Thank you all for listening. We really appreciate it. And if you're online, you can leave comments. And if you're in your car or if you want to call and ask us questions, 855-939-1137, 855-939-1137. And by the way, if you're watching online, hit that share button. Let other people get the enjoyment of this show, the enjoyment of the two crazy people who make too much money in their life that they actually have to go on the radio to talk about how much money they make.
Well, we are kind of insecure. Well, mostly we just do it because Pedro's our in-house producer, and when we talk about money, we make Pedro feel bad.
Is that what happens? I don't think Pedro feels bad at all. I think Pedro has a pretty good life, especially because he knows us. I also want to say hello to Eric, who's watching online. Thanks, Eric. Eric, you're supposed to be going to look at a house right now. Why are you online watching us? You're supposed to be going to look at a house. He calls us 5 minutes before the show to ask our advice about. He's one of our students to ask our advice about a house, and then he's supposed to be driving there right now. All right, 855-939-1137. 855-939-1137. What's next, Phil?
So, we got a question emailed into us. Should I get my real estate license?
Well, the answer is yes, but I wouldn't necessarily become a realtor.
Yeah, why don't you explain that?
Sure. So we often recommend that our students get their real estate license, and there's several reasons to get their real estate license. One is obviously you get access to the MLS, which is fantastic. So the MLS will give you access, and it's funny, we talked about PropStream, but the MLS is very centralized. So we can get all the information we want on Philly properties, some New Jersey properties, Bucks County, Montgomery County properties, and actually it goes, I think, from Maryland to Maine, but it's limited in that range. It's really closer to us is the most you can get. So you're going to get access to the MLS, which is great. That's a start. Another thing that's great also is especially if you're a wholesaler and you want to list your properties, you can list your properties on the MLS, and other agents will call, and then they'll have more exposure to it, which is great. So you have other agents working for you in a sense. And of course, if you have your own properties, plus you also occasionally, and I'm going to say really rarely now, but there are times where you're going to find properties in the MLS that you want to buy and get paid to buy them. So you talk about buying houses with no money, and then you also get paid to buy those houses with no money, which is kind of fun too. I've actually bought houses where it cost me nothing out of my pocket, and I got commission on that house. So that was kind of neat too.
I mean, there's so many advantages. If you're going to be in the real estate investing business, then it makes absolutely 100% you should go get your real estate license.
Correct. And if you want to, and we have a brokerage. We have a brokerage called the Investor Brokerage.
I mean, there's so many different things you can do. You could buy a house for cheap and turn around and list it for sale for $20,000 more and maybe get it. And that's an awesome thing that you can do. You can do short sales. You can do wholesale deals. And we're just scratching the surface here. You can use it to find buyers for lease options, find renters, so many things. So it makes perfect sense. If you're going to be in this business for real, you want to get a license.
And there is a difference, as we were saying before, between a real estate agent and a realtor.
Yes.
A realtor is just a member of the National Association of Realtors. Who cares? You don't need to be a member of the National Association. It's like being a member of the extortion union, like any other union.
We have chosen not to be realtors. We have chosen to be agents.
Awesome. Hey, real quick, we got Anthony online. It's Anthony, right? Anthony, what's going on, man? How can we help you? Oh, he's gone. We lost him already. Oh, well, that's fine. Hey, John, I want to say hi to John, who's watching online as well, and Sal, who's watching online as well. Thanks a lot. We really appreciate it. And if you're online, feel free to even ask a question. So, John has a question. With Phil expanding in Florida, do you have plans on opening a brokerage in Florida? That's a really good question.
I've given this extensive thought, and my answer is maybe.
I actually thought that was what you were going to say. But I will tell you, John, that if Phil moves to Florida soon, we will be opening another investor schooling in Florida.
Well, Phil definitely wants to go to Florida.
Yes.
I am drawn to that area. I find it wonderful to go in any direction you want and find nothing but beauty and freedom.
Freedom is a big thing. Yeah, make America Florida again is my new saying. Would
Well,
be nice.
well, the beauty is pretty phenomenal too.
Did you notice that you know what the difference between a cold and Omicron is?
No, what?
The state you live in.
That
In
makes sense.
Democrat states it's called Omicron, and in Republican states it's called a cold. I want to say a little rich, and of course, Linda, my wife is online as well. How cool is that? Is your wife online? My wife is paying attention. Is yours?
My wife's out shopping for Christmas.
Is she buying me a present?
Definitely not.
Well, all right, fair enough. Very good. Where are we going next?
How about, can you get a HELOC on commercial real estate?
Can you get a HELOC in a commercial real estate? I guess that wouldn't be a HELOC. It would be a CLOC, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's a
Because
good.
a
That's a
HELOC
good
would
one.
be a home equity line of credit,
I
where a
want a
CLOC would be
CLOC.
a commercial equity line of credit, right?
I like that. That's good.
So the answer is yes. I just don't know where to get one.
I see Wells Fargo offers one,
Yeah.
but I just, considering that they have the worst reputation of any mortgage company on the planet Earth, I'm thinking maybe there's somebody else I should work with.
You know, I'll tell you something funny about Wells Fargo because you said that. I actually, now, when somebody says to me that they're buying one of my properties and they're getting a loan from Wells Fargo, I say, here's the condition if you get a loan with Wells Fargo. If you miss the deadlines, I keep your deposit and you have to sign for that in writing in front. Because they absolutely don't care about deadlines. Now, I happen to be a big fan of Wells Fargo Bank. I like Wells Fargo, but their mortgage is terrible. It's terrible.
This is a company that had a woman in a warehouse signing documents, falsifying documents for like 3 years.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah, okay, but still, it was pretty serious violation.
Well, of course.
And what happened?
Well, I know I had been sent 3 credit cards that I didn't apply for, but the way I feel about credit cards, I was very happy to get them, so I was kind of hoping they would do it again.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about real estate.
All right, let's do that.
You know, I'm gonna figure out the answer to can you get a CLOC on a commercial real estate because I'm gonna go through the process.
A CLOC.
Well, I have 2 commercial properties.
Yeah, you have
CLOC.
a big one, actually.
I have a
Executive
big
Suite
one,
is
and then
huge.
I have another one that has $500,000 in equity in it, and I have one that has $1 million in equity in it. So I'm going to explore this, and I will report back to the school once I have an answer.
So why don't you talk to, first of all, Univest Bank is a great bank that I go to. That may be a place to talk to.
You
and
know,
then-
there's one of those located about a block from my house.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll give you my connection over there because they've been pretty helpful
Is that
for me.
the one you go to?
Yeah, they've been pretty helpful for me, but, you know,
talking
I
about
don't
the
know the
one next
people.
to
I
the
used to know
Weiss?
everybody there, but they all quit.
You talking about the one next to the Weiss Market?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, anyone is fine.
Yeah, I know, but you said you had a connection there.
Yeah, no, I did, but I lost. They all don't work there anymore.
You mean at the headquarters
Yeah,
over
I had
in
right. I had a connection to
on
headquarters,
County Line Road?
and I also had a connection in 2 or 3 branches, but they all quit. So I don't know, and you know, maybe they had a vaccine mandate and they decided not to get the vaccine.
Well, then I would give them a
Yeah, I agree. You know,
way to stand up for yourselves.
You know, as we left the restaurant last night, you showed me a news article that really upset me. That Biden is back to being Gestapo Joe, and he actually overturned the halt on his vaccine mandate. So here we go again.
Get
Wake
used to
up,
it.
people. Wake up.
Get used to it.
Yeah, I guess so.
We're underneath the thumb of an oppressive regime.
And just be clear, Phil and I believe that if you want to go get your vaccine, go right ahead. And we also believe if you don't want to get your vaccine, go right ahead and don't get it. That's where we stand. We have no, I mean, you know, Phil has his own little, his you know, he's a health guy. He's really into it. So he has this idea that he wouldn't even get a flu shot. But he didn't get a flu shot before that. So it's not any different.
According to my experts, they say there's absolutely no reason to get a flu shot because the only flu that the CDC has is last year's flu.
So I'm going to tell you something interesting. Since all of this has started, I stopped getting my flu shot because I don't want to go to a doctor because I won't go to a doctor because I won't wear a mask, right? And I haven't gotten my flu shot in, I don't know, maybe almost 3 years now. I'm not sick anymore.
So I'm planning to get my knees replaced, and I would like to have a full-time bodyguard make sure that nobody slips a vax on me when I'm sleeping.
But you might be vaccinated, right? There you go. There's that radio silence again. Right, everybody.
Okay, is real estate ever going to cool down?
Of course, it's going to cool down, and it hasn't started cooling down. I mean, it's cooled down since last year.
Let's go into the question deeper.
Okay.
In order for it to cool down, there would have to be a bulk of houses that you could buy.
Mm-hmm.
How do you ever see that happening at this rate?
It's not going to happen tomorrow, but it's going to happen. You know, you got builders, they started building houses again. You got people who want to make money.
Well, they're building like crazy in Florida, and it doesn't seem to be stopping anything.
Because everybody wants to move to Florida. We already talked about why.
Yeah.
You know, you want to stop, you want to make Florida real estate go down? Tell everybody to vote Democrat. People will stop moving there.
I am incapable of saying that sentence.
We've gotten awfully political. 855-939-1137, 855-939-1137, and tell us a little bit about what you got working on right now, and we'll be more than happy to help you with that. All right, where else are we going with this, Phil? You know what? Real quick, somebody online asked me, and I scrolled past. I think it was Rich who asked about crypto, and I want to talk about crypto real quick. So Bitcoin is right now at about 47,000. Ethereum is about 3,900, and they're kind of just sitting there. Now, you know, every time this starts to happen, everybody says the same thing about crypto. Crypto's going to fall. Crypto's going to go to zero. It's never going to go to zero. Whether Bitcoin's going to be at 47,000 or 7,000 is the real question. And I honestly don't know the answer. I do know that from history, from watching it over the last 5 years-ish, that whenever we go into a lull, we wait that lull out, and then all of a sudden it pops again. So, as you know, I have some Shiba, I have some Ethereum, I have some Dogecoin, whatever you want to call it, and I have something else. I have AMP, I think, and I'm just sitting out. I don't really care because I took out all my profit, which is what we always tell you to do. I took out all my profit. I got some money sitting there. I really don't care. And I also have, for you guys who are listening, I have an NFT for sale right now, and it's kind of interesting. So if you want to take a look at it, that's great. You can go to Rarible. I don't know exactly how. Go to Rarible, look up my name. I don't know exactly how to do it, but go there and you can actually bid on it. And I've been telling people that I will buy it back Christmas Day for $500, and right now it's at $44.
I wonder how many people out there know what an NFT is.
I'm going to say most people don't, and most people have no idea how to buy an NFT, and that's why I did this experiment. Non-fungible token, and basically it can't be duplicated. Whatever, don't worry about it. If you're into NFTs, look at it. If you have no idea, don't even worry about it because right now it's in its infancy, and we'll see what happens. Speaking of infancy, I got an Oculus.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah, so I got an Oculus because I'm really excited about how I'm going to be brainwashed in the metaverse. So I thought I'd get my brainwashing early. But I put it on. I will tell you, the minute I put this thing on, I was blown away by what it looks like inside there. And it's just so different. It's extremely stimulating. And when I say stimulating, like, the dopamine level, I could feel the dopamine level in my body just go, whoa. So there will definitely be people addicted to this really quickly. I also found that after about a half an hour, I got a headache. Now, it might be because I have bifocals and I was wearing my glasses. And maybe I'm going to try it next time without my glasses and see if that's different. But I would recommend this thing. It's kind of an interesting thing. I also while I was in it, I was able to go to like Disneyland and go to Galaxy's Edge, the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, which was kind of fun. And I felt like I was in the bar again. I've been there before. I felt like I was in the bar again. I also went on the Millennium Falcon ride inside the Oculus, which was kind of neat. It wasn't the same as being in the ride, of course, but it was kind of neat to just remember it. It was kind of like it got my memories going of being there. So it's kind of fun. So it's kind of a neat little toy. I haven't bought any of the programs yet. So there's apps you could buy for it. There's videos you could buy for it. You could actually watch television inside the Oculus. So you're in your room. I created one room that is a space station. So it's the room I'm in right now is a space station. Not right now, but the one I'm in my Oculus, when I go there, is a space station that overlooks the sky and overlooks the space station. There's just no movement, so like there's no ships going by every once in a while, which would be nice because it would look like it was more real. But it really is like a static picture, but it's 3D static picture and it's wide. And you turn this thing on and you feel like you're in this huge room overlooking the sky, but you have a pop-up screen that looks better than any screen that you have on your computer now, and you can actually watch movies on that pop-up screen. I haven't done that yet either, but that looks like something that might be fun as well. So at the moment, I recommend the Oculus. At the same time, it scares me silly because it's going to take over the world. I mean, if you watch movies like The Matrix or Surrogates, this is all coming, absolutely coming.
Movies have a funny way of coming true.
They do. They absolutely do, because you think about it, the movies themselves came from the imagination of man. And the imagination of man was just passed on to another person, and that person just created basically what they saw in a movie. And that's where we're going with this. Ooh. So it's going to be interesting.
So, one of these days I'd like to borrow your Oculus.
Yeah, I'm going to bring it in one day, and we can all spend some time in it.
I got a question.
Sure. That's Pedro, by the way. What is your question, Pedro?
Can you build yourself a girlfriend?
Not yet.
You mean like a Cherry 2000?
Not yet, but there is a...
Did you ever see that movie?
I know what you're saying. I've
Cherry
never seen it.
2000, yeah.
No, I've never seen it.
Yeah, it's a movie about this guy who falls in love with a robotic woman. And he loses a chip for the woman, and she doesn't operate
Oh, wow.
properly anymore.
Oh, interesting.
So he hires Melanie Griffith to help him go into like a futuristic junkyard to find the chip. And she does help him find the chip. But then he falls in love with Melanie
The real
Griffith.
woman.
Yes, the real woman.
So they made it a...
I don't know why you couldn't keep them both.
That sounds like something Larry would be doing soon.
What?
Larry's trying to do it right now on his Oculus.
Yeah, you're right.
Right?
Man.
So you can buy a
He probably
girlfriend?
tells Linda he's using it to
Wait.
analyze real estate.
No, hold on. I got to tell you. Linda just popped up online, and she writes, since he mentioned how stimulating it is and can possibly make a girl, I didn't say I can make a girl. Phil said he can make a girl. And then she says, is there something I should know? You got me in trouble, Phil.
Linda, if
make
I
your
were
own-
you, I'd be worried.
Great. Now she's going to walk in when I'm wearing my Oculus, and she's going to go, oh, excuse me.
Yeah, if he has the door locked with his Oculus on, you know something's up.
You guys are rough. All right. Where are we going with this one now?
Well, do you want to talk about some other movies that have actually come true?
Which one?
The
The Manchurian Candidate?
That
That's come
I
through.
wouldn't mind
that's
if
come
that
through-
one came
That's
true.
come through like 4 times already. You think about it, right?
yeah, it's been done twice.
Oh, look, now Linda says it won't be excuse me, it will be here's the door. Linda, why'd you call in? This will be a fun conversation.
Linda, you can't blame somebody for having some unusual fantasies. Really,
Not my fantasy. You said it. I didn't say
Linda,
it.
I could take a moment to help you through this, Linda.
I'm getting in trouble for something you said.
So Larry, tell us more about this girlfriend you built.
I'm not talking about anything anymore. All I know is she says beep beep a lot.
Did you change the oil on your girlfriend? On your robot?
I thought this was a real estate and stock option show. All right, anybody else online want to give us a call? 855-939-1137, 855-939-1137, and we'd be more than happy to talk to you. By the way, real quick, so you guys know I have a book coming out, Money Hacks. If you want to go, if you do a search online, Money Hacks by Larry Steinhaus, you could pre-order that book on Barnes & Noble or anywhere else. I actually did a search on it this morning and found it in Target. That was kind of cool, too. It will be in the shelves as well, but if you want to pre-order it, it's great. It lets the publisher know that you really are serious about buying the book. It'd be great. And then, of course, I have my show every day on WWDB, the competitor for 1210. But it's on every day at 7:30 in the morning.
Why don't you take a minute and tell us a little bit about the book?
The book, okay, so the book it's about 20-something chapters about money. It's all about money. Everything from how to buy real estate with no money, how to save money in taxes, how to make more money, how to change your money mindset. I could keep going. What do you
I'm
get
curious.
that smile
Does it have a chapter about how to meet girls on an Oculus?
I love my wife.
Yeah.
Does your robot girlfriend look like Linda?
Would you stop? He said it. I didn't say it. I don't know, man. Between Friday's show in the morning and this show, we're laughing way too much. All right, do you want to go to a commercial just so we can finish our laughing?
I think we should go to a commercial.
All right, let's go. Jim, take us out.
There's no commercials left.
There's no commercials left, so let's keep talking. Hey, let's make a commercial real quick. You and I, Phil, are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Let's make a commercial. Hey, Phil, we should go to Investor Schooling this week and learn about how to get real estate for no money down.
I agree with you. You know, it's amazing what happens at Investor Schooling.
Yeah, I heard you could go to investorschooling.com and you could go there and you could register for a free class on Thursday. What do you think we'll learn at that free class, Phil?
I think you're going to walk into a room where there's going to be 40 physical people in the room and 30 physical people on Zoom, and you're going to be able to talk to all 70 of them.
Wow, are you going to learn anything?
Well, we're going to be talking about real estate investing, buying houses with none of your own money, investing in stock options, making maybe 25 to 35% on your money.
So I heard this guy, Pedro, who works there, he just bought 3 houses with no money out of his own pocket.
You know, with the voice you're using for this commercial, you sound like a 14-year-old boy.
18-year-old boy.
18, okay.
Yeah, because, a 14-year-old boy can't build his own girl in the Oculus.
There you go. Now he's setting himself up.
All right, we're back here. It's Larry Steinhaus, and we're back at Investor Schooling Live. And if you have any questions, give us a call at 855-939-1137. That was a great commercial, Phil. I'm so glad we played that one.
I don't think it was that good, but Jim Kelly will probably run it for 2 years without our permission.
Hey, Bill says the second best decision he ever made was joining Investor Schooling. That's cool. That's a better commercial than the one we just gave.
Good job, Bill.
Thanks, Bill. Hey, what was the first best decision? Not buying an Oculus. Oh, no, he didn't say that.
He's probably ordering one on Amazon right now.
He probably is. All right, where are we going here? We want to talk about the stock market and what's going on in the stock market?
Well, actually, what I was going to do is pull up the very first script we had for the radio show
Oh, yeah?
that we're doing right now.
Really?
First question was, how does the 1031 exchange program work?
That was the very first script?
Yeah. The second question was, how does Investor Schooling motivate students to make it happen?
I like that question better.
Okay, answer that question.
So, hey, we actually are really, we really help people change their money mindset. I talked about it in my book before, but we help people change their money mindset. One of the biggest problems is most people out there have no idea how money works. They have no idea how to use money. They have no idea how to use they have no idea how to use debt. Now, debt is actually a powerful tool if you know how to use it. I'm not saying go buy a couch and a car, but if you could use debt to buy a asset that will be increasing in value, or you can use debt to make more money, such as buying a house and getting, for example, if you're paying on your debt, you're paying $500 and you're getting $1,200, you're making $700 on your debt, which is fantastic. So we teach that as well. We also teach people to get outside their comfort zone. One of the things I mentioned earlier in the show is the fact that I like to have a lot of credit cards. Right now I have credit of about $725,000 available to me on credit cards. And most people would say, what? That's insane. And when you understand why and how you can use that, and I could buy houses with my credit cards, and I've done it. And it's kind of cool. So these are all the things that we would teach you, and we also teach you how to save money, how to use self-directed IRAs, people how to convert their 401ks into IRAs, and how to even take their IRA and turn it into a Roth IRA and never pay taxes. Because I don't know about you, but I don't really want to fund the Build Back Better plan.
Me either, but the government's going to waste the money no matter what they do with it.
Yeah, but if I give them less, I feel better.
Sure. I understand that.
All right, I think we got Anthony. Anthony's back, and I missed it. Anthony, what's going on? How can we help you?
Anthony,
I'm
what's
sorry,
up?
guys. I was in Home Depot. How you looking out, Phil? How's everything?
Good, man. What's going on?
Well, I wanted to find out why Phil is not getting vaccinated.
How do you know he's not vaccinated? Every time he answers the question, we get dead air.
Listen, he ain't the only one. But anyway, I wanted to find out. I wanted to find out: is there a vehicle loophole that, not loophole, but a write-off that you can use with buying a new vehicle to kind of save money on taxes?
So your question, if I understand it correctly, is if you bought a new car, could you save money on taxes? Is that correct?
Yeah, and buy a vehicle for the business.
All right, so the first thing you need to know is that there's a lot of pieces to this question that I'd have to ask you, and we don't have that kind of time. However, I'm going to recommend that, number one, you buy your vehicles in your LLC. Do you have an LLC?
Yes.
Okay, so buy your vehicles in your LLC and finance them through your LLC too. That's the first thing you would do, and part of that will be a tax write-off. But more importantly, you'll start to build business credit in your LLC, which is much more valuable than a tax write-off, and you'll see that in the future when you need it. So that's extremely powerful. Now, every once in a while, the government runs special deals, like if you buy a truck. I don't think they're running one right now, but if you buy a truck, you can write the whole thing off this year. So sometimes that's available to you. Some of the trucks, like the electric trucks, you're going to get a tax credit. So there are things there. There are things there that will make it that you could look up and try to find. But absolutely, always buy your vehicle in your LLC. I own no vehicles in my personal name. All of my vehicles are owned by my separate LLCs.
Do you make a separate LLC for each vehicle?
No, I don't make an LLC for each vehicle. Each one of my LLCs buys a vehicle.
Okay, so
sometimes, like if I'm looking for another car, I will pick an LLC that doesn't have a car in it already, and because I have several. I don't know. I think I have 9, 10, 11 now LLCs. I'm not even sure. And I'll buy an LLC I'll buy a vehicle in that LLC and try to get credit established in that LLC.
So you got to file a tax return for every one of those?
Yeah, but I have to because they're real LLCs. It's not like I mean, they have a purpose. It's not that they're not just there for nothing. And if they are there for nothing, which you really shouldn't do, but if they're not there or they haven't been established yet as a business, that's a flow through my personal tax return anyway. I don't have to file a personal. I don't have to file
as
a return.
long as it's a single member.
As long as it's a single member, correct? Yes, yeah, exactly. All right, Anthony, did we answer your question?
Absolutely. That's perfect. I will do that. Also, you mentioned that you got $750,000 in open lines of credit.
No, I have much more than that in open lines of credit. I have $750,000 just in credit cards.
In credit cards.
Yeah.
My apologies.
Yeah.
All right. My question is, I did mortgages for a lot of years, and one thing that I did was I interviewed a lot of people that, well, not a lot of people, but a few amount of people that had over 800 credit scores. And there was one thing that really intrigued me. Those four people, or those few people that I interviewed that had 810, 820, 830 credit scores, they had four things in common.
Yeah, they had no debt.
Well, true. One credit card, gas card, one major credit card, a house payment, and a car. car payment.
Great. So, all right, Anthony, you're right. We only have a few more minutes left, so I kind of got to push you along a little bit. But here's the deal, right? What's the difference? You were in the mortgage business. What's the difference between somebody with a 750 credit score and an 850 credit score? Do you know?
Nothing.
Nothing. Exactly. So if you have an 850 credit score, you're wasting your credit score. All right, listen, Anthony, we got to run. I apologize, but why don't you come into class on this Thursday, and I'll talk to you more about this. Go to investorschooling.com and sign yourself up for class, because I got to get into some of the stock option picks right now. And here it is.
Stock option sorting. Stock option sorting.
All right, here we go. So this week in the stock market, all right, some of my favorite stocks. Facebook actually went down just below 330. I actually picked up just a touch of it this weekend. It might be a good play. It probably will be a good play. I believe Facebook is going to hit back up into the 350s. Actually, I think it's going to go to 380 and go over 400. But I actually would pick it up now. I'd get out at 350 because there's not a whole lot. Just to save your profit. If you're in a stock option, if you're in the stock, you could keep going. Apple tried to be a $3 trillion company this week. It didn't quite make it. In fact, it pulled back. Now it's about 10 points away from being a $3 trillion company, when it was about a half a point away for a little while. So, or it just touched it. It may have even just maybe less than a half a point away from a $3 trillion company. It pulled back. It's now at 171. I'd like to see this in the 160, the low 160s, and I would buy it. And I think it'll bounce back quickly. So that's a play for me as well. Robinhood is now down below 20. It's at 19. Stay away from this. This is going to turn into something bad. I actually think it's going to go into the single digits before it comes back. So unfortunately, I thought it was a good idea. I don't think it's a good idea anymore. And I will tell you that I doubled my money on it, which was nice. But then I lost a couple of bucks on rebuying it. So I'm probably ahead, but it's just not going to happen. It did hit that 85 right after it opened up, but that's it. I don't see it happening again. Coinbase, on the other hand, I think Coinbase is a good play right around 235. It's at 243 now, and I would ride Coinbase up to probably somewhere, I don't know, maybe even to 270. But that would be the max. It's probably going to pop over 300, but don't get stuck with it. So I like that. I like that as well. Anything that you want to hear about, Phil?
I'm basically in AAL and CCL.
Yeah, so me too. I am loaded up heavily in AAL and CCL, and they had a nice play yesterday. The Dow was down over 500 points, and AAL and CCL and even BA came up, which was great. So I actually made some money yesterday, or my account was up yesterday. I didn't make any money. You don't make any money until you sell. But that was actually surprising that I was able to actually be ahead yesterday. And it's great. It's great. It's great to know that. I still think it's a great play. I think all of this stuff is going to go away. I think Gestapo Joe is going to have his mask mandate challenged. And I also think that you also saw, I don't know if you saw these articles, that some of the airlines are stepping up and saying, hey, we think this is ridiculous now. Let's stop it. Now,
Yes, I have seen that.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to go very far with it because they're trying to play both sides of the fence. And that's unfortunate. They need to just stand up and say, we're not going to take it anymore. And that is when the mask stuff will go away and the vaccine stuff will become, oh, I know, personal choice like we are in America. But until then, I don't know what to tell you. We got about a minute left. What do you want to talk about?
Well, I saw something about that article from one of the airlines, and they were saying that our air is 96.5% clean with the greatest HEPA filters that money can buy. Yeah. Then what the heck are we wearing these masks for?
You never needed them in the first place.
Yeah.
I proved it a long time ago that masks don't work.
Yes.
You don't believe me? Go to this website. Go to followtherealscience.com, and you could take a look at it. Anyway, why don't you take us out?
All right. Thanks to our producer, Jim Kelly, who finally got our latest commercial removed from 1210's board. We really appreciate that. You did it, Jim. You're the guy who did it for us. We appreciate that.
10 seconds.
If you're interested in coming to Investor Schooling, just go to investorschooling.com, or you can call 855-939-1137. 855-939-1137. We're out of here.
See you Thursday.
This program is a paid commercial announcement and in no way represents
All right, guys, have a good week.
or its management.
WPHT.